Hello, beautiful people of the internet, and welcome back to another review. I've got my partner in crime, It's Classified, aka Nick. At this point, I'm gonna keep saying it wrong because it's a meme at this point.
What? I don't know. She said it wrong.
Because your name is Nick, aka It's Classified,
okay.
but I say It's Classified, aka Nick.
Whatever.
I've always said it wrong, so now if I'd said it right, it'd be a problem.
Okay.
But as the title and the thumbnail or whatever you saw first to click on this video suggests, we are reviewing Pokemon Legends Arceus.
I didn't tip it off.
or just Nick's entire background. This was a game that both of us were fairly excited for, and is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I want to... This is going to be another review where I swear up and down that I like this game, but I just want...
Dread Part 2.
Yeah. I love this game, but there was more that I wanted out of it, and so that's going to come out in this review. But I promise, don't shun me from the Pokemon community. I like this game.
I'm gonna go out right now and say this: it's the best Pokemon game ever made. I'm saying it right now. It's the best Pokemon game ever made.
I cannot say that.
There are things they can improve upon. That is not.
Yes.
There is no doubt. But this is the best Pokemon game ever made.
In some ways, yes, I agree with you. In other ways, I do not. And we will get into all of that because that's what we're here to do. So if you're unfamiliar, Pokemon Legends Arceus is the first semi-open world Pokemon game. It's the first Pokemon game where all of the Pokemon are in the environment. There is no random battles. You can see, you can catch. You don't even have to engage in battles to catch the Pokemon. It tells a more nuanced story than any other Pokemon game. Game Freak literally tried to make this something completely unique to the rest of the franchise, and on that I say they succeeded. There's a lot of different layers to this one, so we'll just get straight into it. First off, I mean, let's talk about the biggest changes, and that's the gameplay. Random battles ain't no thing in this game. Nuh-uh, no siree.
God. I love turn-based RPGs like you do.
Yep.
I hate random battles, the burning passion. I hate them. Now, Sword and Shield didn't really have random battles too much. That's what I'm aware of.
So when you were outside of the wild area, there were still Pokemon that spawned in the overworld, but you could go into grass and random battles would happen. So they weren't completely gone for that one.
Yeah, they weren't as bad in that one. Diamond and Pearl, that's how it was. I despise random battles. I don't like the mechanic of them. It's just annoying. I want to be able to walk 2 feet and not go into a battle. So yeah, I'm glad those are gone. But I mean, ultimately, I think this game is more about the catching of the Pokemon more than anything.
Yes.
Because the whole purpose of the game is you're literally fulfilling the first ever created Pokédex. I wasn't never in Pokemon as much as you were. You've been Pokemon since the beginning. I really jumped into the Switch era. But I never really feel like the mechanic of having to battle the thing constantly to catch the thing. And now you can still do that in certain Pokemon. If you don't sneak up on it, will require you to do that.
Yes.
But some Pokemon like Bidoof will just, even if you caught with his friend, he'll just stand there staring at you like, what the heck did you just do?
Yes.
All Pokemon have different ways of guidance. Some will be run away scared, some will fly away, some will see like Shinx and literally charge at you. But it feels like you're actually in a sense hunting them. Like you're in a world with these creatures instead of just them feeling like they're almost instead. At least to me, it felt like they were not part of the world, just a game mechanic. These you feel like they're actually creatures out in the world.
Yes, I would agree with that. I mean, Pokemon Red was literally my first video game that I personally owned. So Pokemon is in my DNA as a gamer. Yeah, no, I agree. This is the first... Pokemon has always been a story of limitations. Everything that they do is based on the console that they are on. And so now that there is no such thing as the Nintendo handheld anymore, and we have the Switch, they are Game Freak unleashed at this point. And so I think that's why we've seen such rapid gameplay differences in all of the Switch era Pokemon games, is because Game Freak is like, oh shit, we can do this now. Oh yeah, we can do this now. Oh hey, this has been on the idea board forever. Let's try this. So I think that we're going to continue seeing evolutions, this being the greatest one, and then I think we're going to see lots. We're going to be back here in less than a year talking about Scarlet and Violet, and probably talking about even more gameplay changes, as the series tries to go for a traditional formula in this new style. But yeah, no, this is the first Pokemon world that felt alive. And I don't just mean that in the gameplay, I also mean that in the story too, which we'll get to in a little while. But I 100% agree. The Pokemon are in specific environments, with a few weird exceptions in some of them, but for the most part, like the water Pokemon are in the coastal area. The ice and steel Pokemon are in the mountainous or the ice area. Like, they do a really good job of making this world feel alive, and like it actually naturally makes sense, considering that Pokemon are basically animals, so every animal has its own biome and environment that they are a part of, and so they worked very hard to make that a thing. And all the Pokemon have fairly unique interactions with the player. I'm not going to say it's 100% like what you think it would be. There's still moves that each type of Pokemon will use, and that's the same no matter what typing it is. So we're not to a point where like Shinx will charge at you using Spark, but if you encountered Pikachu, it'll use Thunderball. Like, we're not to that point yet. They just very generically, oh, I'm an electric type Pokemon. I shoot lightning at you when I'm threatened. Or I'm a flying Pokemon, so I shoot air at you when I'm threatened. But you know, the fact that they're interacting with the player outside of a battle in the overworld in general is a giant step forward for the series.
First is the first time the trainer can ever get hurt.
Yes.
Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, in the past, when you would lose a battle, you black out from, assumedly, the shame of losing the battle.
Yeah, the trainer's fine.
But in this game, no. For the most part, your trainer is the one taking the beating. Which, in some senses, is pretty cool. In some senses, not so much. The reason why I say that is the biggest gameplay change is being able to catch Pokemon without battling, as you've said. And on the one hand, that is amazing. Most Pokemon, I would probably fair to venture 90% of the Pokemon that I've caught in my 65 plus hours on Pokemon Legends Arceus have been just throwing a Pokeball at the Pokemon. You get bonuses for sneaking up and throwing the Pokeball from behind. There's even actually Pokeballs like the heavy, leaden, and gigaton balls that give you a bonus for doing so. It really puts the catching without battling at the forefront. And while I think that is great, at the same time, in my opinion, it's a too huge of a deviation, and this is where we're going to start getting into complaints. Okay. I like to be able to catch the Pokemon without battling them. However, they made it way too easy to do so.
Are you saying there should be Pokemon that you have to battle to catch?
Yes. Okay,
that makes sense.
I mean, so we should put this out here. You haven't done all of the post-campaign content.
Yeah, I'm at the it did be the main campaign. I'm at the Giratina battle right now.
Okay, perfect. So you're basically at the end. There are side quests and things where you legitimately catch legendary Pokemon without battling them.
Yeah, it was
the
a little weird.
Strongest Pokemon in the game you catch without battling them.
I'm assuming which one are you talking about?
I mean, I'm talking about. So the ones that you've seen, you caught the three. You caught the three lake spirits without battling them. There's side quests to catch Darkrai and Shaman and Manaphy with that you don't have to battle them. And in fact, I don't think you can battle them actually. I'm going after the three elemental gods, Landorus, Tornadus, and Thunderous right now, and you straight up cannot battle them. So the strongest Pokemon still are just resorted down to this mechanic of I just have to get behind you and hit you with a Gigaton Ball, and that's going to give me the greatest chance of capturing you. Not only that, but I can stun you with mud balls and spider balls, well, sticky web balls, to make getting behind you a non-issue, and I can hit you with a Gigaton Ball. So I love the mechanic of catching normal Pokemon without it, because why the hell do I have to battle a level 2 Bidoof to catch him? I'm pretty sure he's going to go in the Pokeball. It's fine. But
I agree. Like the late spirits should have been a battle. I'll agree with that point.
Because
certain Pokemon that should be a battle. Like Dialga. I mean, slight spoilers. I mean, this game's based in the Sinnoh region. It's called a Sui, but it's the Sinnoh region. So it follows a lot of the similar story beats of Diamond and Pearl.
Yes.
I think better told.
Yes.
But Dialga and Palkia are in the game. I mean, it's not really too much. You kind of see in the trailers. But you do have to fight them to get them. And I agree that the legendaries. You know, maybe not all legendaries. Like I've seen some maybe like more early stage legendaries, maybe not. But like Dialga and Palkia, they're literally the gods of space and time.
Yeah,
they should be fought.
Yeah.
So I could see that. And I do felt like when I was catching the spirits, that they should have been like fighting.
Because not only does those Pokemon provide a challenging battle because they are so strong and legendary Pokemon, but they also test, your restraint too. Like, if you want to capture this Pokemon, you best not KO it, because you only have one chance. And any of the Pokemon in this game that you do battle for legendaries, if you KO them, it just restarts the battle. Which is...
Now, I will say, in this game's context, it makes sense why it has that mechanic. Because the whole point of the game is to fulfill the Pokédex.
Yes.
You KO them, you can't fulfill the Pokédex.
Yes,
so
and I agree with that. I agree with that. But still, not taking on Cresselia and not having to battle her, like...
I agree. You should be able to battle them.
Like that's my thing. So, like, I think they went too far into the catching mechanic and did not lean enough into the battle mechanics, which sucks because they made battles so much better and gave so many improvements to raising Pokemon and stuff in this game. So it's like Pokemon's always been about exploration and battling. And this game, to a lot of its strength, goes super into exploring, which is awesome because we're uncovering this new world, we're encountering these new Pokemon, yada, yada, yada. But they forgot about the core component of battling. And I understand from a story perspective that this is before there were trainers, whatever.
Or the gyms.
Before the gyms, whatever. You still got to have Pokemon battling. Like, there's not even a way to battle your friends in this game.
I mean, that is a little weird. There are some touch-ups I feel you can make with the battling, just more of it.
Yes.
But as you said, because I mean, it is to an extreme. It is the best. I think the best the battling's ever been. Because one thing that I kind of was thinking about it, noticing the battle system. Let's Go, Sword and Shield, and Diamond and Pearl. So all the games on this generation all still use the way of you just click through the menus to check your moves, stuff like that, which is still normal for turn-based RPGs, clicking through menus. But I noticed when you look at this game's menus, it follows close to the Persona style of the thing. Is each menu action is tied to a button.
Yeah.
So you click that button and then you just click the thing. So it makes it battles a lot more snappier and stuff. I have to click down to items, then click with that. Yeah, it's a little touch, but it makes things so much faster pace. And also it adds in Pokemon before, it was one Pokemon goes, then the other Pokemon goes. It just turns back and forth as a turn-based game is. But you can add some strategy to it. And they add a lot more strategy to this with the additions of Agile Style and Strong Style.
Yeah.
Agile Style means you get an extra turn, but you're going to be weaker. Strong Style is you're going to lose a turn, but you hit stronger.
Yes.
So it adds a more element of a strategy into this mix. So I do think it could use a bit more refinement before we go into like super competitive play with that style.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
A lot. It's way better than Dynamax, I feel.
And the coolest thing in my opinion too is Pokemon no longer forget moves.
So good. So good.
So in the past, when you had 4 moves, when your Pokemon leveled up and learned another one, you'd have to forget one. In this game, the Pokemon never forgets the moves. It just goes into a long list of moves that it has access to that you can change the 4 moves that you're currently using at any time. And that includes moves that get taught to it from the move tutor as well. So if say you have, your Hippowdon, whose strongest ground type move is high horsepower, but you're facing a Pokemon that consistently is faster than you. Well, hey, why don't you switch out high horsepower for Bulldoze? That way, it lowers the speed stat. That way, you can have a better chance of defeating the Pokemon, and you can make those adjustments at any time from the menu, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Because it sucks to have to need a move that you have to forget another move and you don't know that you're going to get that back. In this game, it's no big deal. You just change out the moves that you want. So again, I never expected this game to have any competitiveness because they remove the abilities and stuff like that from the Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I at least still expected some kind of more battling in the game in general, but also I expected more why can't you battle your friends? Like that's such a weird omission for a Pokemon game.
I mean, it's not too weird. It depends how you look at it. Now, if you're looking at the mainline, yeah, it's weird. I would imagine games like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, things like that, don't have that. So if you look at a spin-off, it's not that weird anymore. But Legends is in a weird spot where you could consider it mainline, but it's not technically mainline. But I don't want to say give an excuse for it, but I do understand maybe the decision because this is the most drastic change to the core Pokemon formula that isn't in just an entirely different genre. Mystery Dungeon is.
While I agree with that, but I don't feel like this really is a spin-off. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. It is, but it isn't. It's a weird spot because I don't know why Game Freak's considering it. It's their call.
Here's the thing to factor. It's not a spin-off. Straight up, it's not a spin-off. It precursors date events from Diamond and Pearl. Plus, there's a character from Black and White that also is in the game as well. So this is not a spin-off. This is a dedicated part of the Pokemon lexicon, which it should be because it provides lots of context for the Sinnoh region. Why they chose the Sinnoh region of all of the regions, I guess just because it has Arceus in it. You think Kanto would be a little bit more important, but that's just me.
It's the region with the god of Pokemon. You start with that and work your way down, I guess.
Whatever.
Ash is in the sidelines.
Well, Ash is always on the sideline. He's not canon. He's one of the worst Pokemon trainers ever. Get him the fuck out. Red, my boy Red, fucking fantastic. My boy Gold, who beats Red, fucking fantastic. Blue, after he grows up a little bit, fantastic. But yeah, so there's just weird omissions. I mean, you don't really battle a whole lot until closer to the end of the game, and then they force you into quite a lot of battles. But even at that point, you've done in my case 45 hours of not battling, and then you give me 3 battles in a row, and I'm like, great, this is awesome. But what about all of the rest of the hours that I hardly got to battle? Because you straight up only battle the girl, whatever the opposite gender of the player character is. You battle her a couple times. In my case, I picked a boy. You battle Volo several times. You battle pretty much all of the wardens at least once. You battle the leaders of the clans, and then the Galaxy Team head, and then Volo again. That's 20 battles.
It's not a whole lot compared to the Pokemon games past, where that's been the focus. I do feel like this is also because while I think it's the point though, because the most drastic change for this game is the catching mechanic, not the battling mechanic. Battle has some changes, but they've always been adding twists to the formula beforehand. I mean, Dynamax was a thing in Sword and Shield. You had
Yes.
Mega Evolution before that, so the addition of the style system isn't that far off an idea.
No, it's not.
But the whole point is because the catching mechanic, how we interact with this world, is what people have been wanting Pokemon to do for a long,
Yes.
long time. So I feel like they want to make sure to get this system down pat because obviously we just got announced Scarlet and Violet are coming. This is gonna have. It looks like it's gonna bring those two worlds now
Yes.
together.
Yes,
I hope that's what
I'm
they do.
anticipating that Scarlet and Violet will be my favorite Pokemon games, because it's going to blend that open world with
Or battling.
more battling. But I have to review the game in front of me, and so for a Pokemon game that doesn't have a whole lot of battling, you got to look at that as what it is. And I would have liked to see more battling because you gave me all these great improvements that I hardly got to use.
I mean, they'll do also good improvements of because a lot of times there was characters like Machamp, Machamp's the final, well, Machoke,
Yes.
who is to evolve to Machamp, you have to actually trade him. You don't have to do that in this game anymore. You can trade to do it.
Yes.
There's items in the game you can just give him. That's a linking cable,
Yes.
kind of a wink and a nod, but to evolve them. That's a mechanic that should have been here a long time ago.
I agree, and it is just not on those Pokemon. Well, any Pokemon that holds an item and has to be traded, you just use the item on. So, if you wanted your Rhydon to evolve into Rhyperior, instead of trading him holding the Protector, you just give him the Protector, he evolves. Porygon into Porygon 2, give him the upgrade, bam, bada bing, bada boom, you got a Porygon 2. So that change also was amazing. I haven't traded any Pokemon yet because I just used the items. Now, granted, I will say they made the items pretty expensive for what they are. So there's a mechanic in the game where if you take too many hits as the player, you faint and you go back to your closest camp, and you drop some of the items that you had gathered. And so other players can go to where you fainted, pick up your items, you get them back, and they get what's known as merit points to use in the store to buy those evolution items. And they are very expensive. They are 1,000 merit points per item. And when you find somebody else's satchel, you get an average of about 75 points.
Yeah, I realize it depends on the region. As you go like the final, like the fifth, there's 5 regions. If you're in the 5th region, they're usually around 90 to 100. So yeah, it's kind of expensive. But I didn't think it was too expensive. It took about 10 satchels, 10 to 11 satchels for me to do it, and that's how I got the Dawn Stone I needed for Gallade.
Yeah.
So it took me maybe about 20 minutes. I didn't feel that was too bad.
The difference there, though, the stones can be found in the wild.
Oh yeah, the stone. But I didn't find the stone.
Yeah. A lot of the evolutions items cannot.
No.
I think they give you like 1 link cable as a side quest reward.
Yeah, it's in there. I saw it.
And now, granted, those Pokemon can be caught in the wild. Like there is Alakazam, Machoke, Steelix, Gengars. Those are in the world that you can find. Pokemon like Rhyperior and Magmortar and stuff, they also spawn in the world at very low rates. And so those items are the ones that you'll be kind of trying to grind out satchels for people. I wish they just gave you more points. Like I'm not even talking like if they could give like if it was like because only like 3 to 4 spawn into a region at a time. So if they were given like maybe 200 points per one, I think I'd understand that.
Yeah.
But like they did make that aspect a little grindy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I didn't feel it was awful. It was grinding, but it wasn't awful.
I would have much rather been able to, and I hope they do this for Violet and Scarlet, purchase them from like a vendor. Because if they're expensive for the in-game money, that's way more doable in my opinion. Versus the merit points. So I hope that in Scarlet and Violet, in all of the Pokemon games, there's always a mall, like store, and that sells a bunch of different stuff. So I hope there's a vendor in the mall store that'll sell it for future games. But in this game, it's a little grindy. I think the only other gameplay that we didn't really talk about yet was the quest system. So this is the first game that has main quests and side quests, and there are a shit ton of side quests.
But I mean, this is the first kind of. I mean, it's not full open world. It's like 5 hub worlds, kind of.
It's semi-open world, yeah.
It's semi-open world. It's very almost Monster Hunter-esque. Very Monster Hunter-esque.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising it has missions and quests. I mean, that's a staple of any open world game. So it's more. It kind of makes sense. Like, of course, if Pokemon goes open world, it's gonna have missions and quests.
Yes.
So,
but I thought
fine.
Yeah, I it's just a big departure from the game that I hope that they continue in Scarlet and Violet as well to a lesser degree, because you have the mission of
the gyms.
Going after the gyms. But like, if you went to a town and they're like, hey, there's all these things to do, I'd be like, okay, cool. I really like how they handled the side quest mechanic in this game, because it ties directly into the story. So many open world games get side quests wrong. They're just errands that you do and you get EXP and then that's it. The best ones are the ones where the impact of your side quest actually affects the world, and this game does that in spades. So this is a little bit of a spoiler into the story section of this review, but this is a time that people are very unsure of Pokemon. And through you doing the side quest and basically helping the townspeople of Jubilife Village interact with Pokemon more, the village starts to fill up with Pokemon. People's attitudes towards Pokemon change. Like, it's a really cool mark of progression through the game, from the beginning of the game where people are like, oh my god, Pokemon are scary, to look at all these Pokemon in the village, they're so helpful. Like, yeah, wild Pokemon are scary, but like they can be, tamed and helpful. From squishing berries as we gave a Geodude to a lady, to giving a ground type Pokemon to farmers to help plow fields.
Giving lumber to Bidoof.
Yep. Mr. Mime becoming a town guard with its walls. Like they do a lot of cool things with the side quests in this game, just beyond going, hey, can you bring me this item? Hey, here's money and EXP, thanks. No, it's, hey, bring me this item because bring me this Pokemon because I want to be inspired by its hairdo so that I can cut more hairdos in the salon. Or, hey, these two gendered Pokemon have different patterns. Bring them to me so I can study the patterns and make new clothes out of it. Like, they made a point to make the side quest very impactful to the village and determine its growth.
Oh yeah, as Kenny said earlier, it tied in the game and made it feel more alive. It's the most alive a Pokemon game to me has ever felt.
Yeah. And then the only other one that we haven't talked about is the noble Pokemon battles.
I thought they were pretty neat. There were some I was like on.
Avalugg.
Avalugg was because I didn't like how it was just locked to one thing.
Yep.
I also, slight spoiler again. We're gonna begin the story quickly because we're kind of spoiling the story. But the battle, the final battle for the credits roll. There's more battles after the fact, but the credits roll, you're gonna fight either Dialga or Palkia, depending on who. You're gonna choose one of the clan leaders who worships one of them, and you'll have to fight the other one.
Yeah.
So I fought Dialga as the final boss.
I also fought Dialga as the final boss.
Fair enough.
I wanted Palkia, so.
Yeah. But when I fought Dialga, I never had to throw out a Pokemon, because the way the battles work is you're gonna throw bombs at them, get their health bar a little down, and then they'll get stunned, and you're gonna throw a Pokemon to really stun them. That way you can just do extra damage when you throw the bombs again. But I didn't have to throw a Pokemon at once at Dialga, so it was a little odd. Now he had a lot of AOE attacks.
Yeah.
But when I got him all the way down, I'm like, okay, it's probably like multiple ways. I'm gonna throw a Pokemon out, and it just ended like, oh, okay.
Yeah, again,
Literally.
you didn't have to fight it. You didn't have to fight a legendary Pokemon.
Well,
I'm
you're
saying-
fighting him by chucking not Pokeballs at him.
Yeah, these noble Pokemon are like guardians, and they're worshipped by the two tribes, the two clans. And so some of them get frenzied when they get struck by Arceus lightning, and so you have to. They make these balms out of their favorite foods, and you literally just have to pelt them with it until they come to their senses. And they're kind of fun because you have to dodge the attacks and stuff. But like the fourth and fifth ones, Electrode and Avalugg, sucked so much.
They were difficult.
Like both of them had homing attacks, and like you're a 15-year-old kid, so you can't take too many hits.
Now I will say, they were both difficult, but I thought Electro was fun.
Yeah, no, Electrode was fun. I will say that Electrode was fun. Avalugg was miserable. Yeah, Avalugg I had to try like 4 or 5 times. Yeah. And granted, a lot of it was me being greedy, but like also like just fuck, man. Why do you have that many attacks? That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
I didn't like
why don't we get into story, since like I said, like we both said, this story goes beyond the normal Pokemon formula of, hey, you're a kid, here's a Pokemon, go beat those 8 gym leaders, you find a criminal organization, take them out, I guess, and then go and be the greatest Pokemon trainer that region ever knows. Go catch some legendary Pokemon, fill the Pokedex, thank you, come again next time. But this one, since there's no gyms, this is before the Sinnoh region was completely civilized. There's a lot of change in the story. So you are a 15-year-old kid that gets abducted, isekai'd, falls into a portal. Like
you are.
You don't know what happens. Yeah, you're I want to say isekai'd. You're isekai'd to the Hisuian region to save it from calamity by Arceus. Best anime I've ever seen.
Anime.
And so Arceus upgrades your iPhone to a sweet Arc phone that's completely unwieldy and just looks like shit.
He puts it back in his pocket. How does it fit?
It doesn't fit, man. It doesn't fit. He had to like strap it to his under his belt or something and just carry it around on the back. I assume he puts it in his satchel after paying the guy enough to get enough spaces for it. But you know,
I fuck that guy.
I fuck that guy. But so you land on Prelude Beach because Game Freak's not that intelligent. And you meet Professor Laventon, who has an Oshawott, Rowlet, and Cyndaquil with him. They run off. He gives you 50 Pokeballs and says, "Go out and catch them." I did it in 4 Pokeballs. I missed one on Piplup, but 4 Pokeballs. I didn't need 50 balls, dude. And he even says after that he gives you to him, like, "Hey, if you need more, come back and see me, dude."
And the funny thing is, it ties into the whole thing of they're all freaked out about it because he sees you catch them like immediately, and he's like, "How'd you do that? No one does that." And the kid's just like,
"Yeah, your play character's like, dude,
this
dude." And so he thinks you're pretty darn cool for capturing those scary ass baby Pokemon. So he brings you back into Jubilife Village. You trust him for some reason, and tell him what you saw in this like lucid dream that before you got isekai'd, and he wants to help you. So he gets you into to try out for the Galaxy team, which are this group of Pokemon researchers that are based in Jubilife Village, and there's 3. It's how do I explain this? So they're not just worried about they want to research Pokemon in all ways. So there's three different branches of the Galaxy team. You have the Explorer Corps, which is or the Survey Corps, or whatever they call it, which is what you're a part of, who go out and research Pokemon and complete the Pokedex. You have the Security Corps, who defend the village. And then you have I can't remember what they call them, but it's basically the Support Corps. So that's where the merchants gather items and stuff like that. And so you get introduced to the leader of the survey team, who is named Silene, who is indeed the ancestor to Cyrus, down to the same fucking face. And she basically says, nah, brah, you fell from the sky. Get the fuck out. And Leventa's like, no, he caught Pokemon with no issue at all. Because those catch rates were 100% because Game Freak put him in. So he's really, really good. Let's give him a shot. And so you go through this trial that you have to catch a Shinx, Bidoof, and a Starly.
Very easy.
Very easy. After picking your starter. And then you are inducted into the Survey Corps. And so you go out on your first expedition. You learn the ropes from the other gender of the player character. And get greeted by one of the members of the Diamond Clan. Her name is Mai. She has a Munchlax. She calls you a piece of shit for capturing Pokemon in balls and is like, hey, my fucking Munchlax and I are friends.
It's about time someone said it, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you are catching these things in balls and making them fight for you. This is kind of barbaric.
But in the DLC that dropped on earlier this week, like her Munchlax like just runs away from her all the time now. So like jokes on her, bitch. But and so that Mai asks for your help in quelling the fury of the local noble Pokemon from the Pearl Clan, Cleavor, who's a new Scyther evolution. And to do that, you will need Mai's noble Pokemon, Weirdeer, to get. And so you get your first ride Pokemon. Weirdeer, it runs, so it's basically your bicycle, but just runs super fast. Yeah. So you meet the next member of the, you meet the Pearl clan member. I don't remember his name. It starts with an L. It doesn't matter.
Pearl Clan is Arita.
I know the leader. I'm talking about the kid that is responsible for Cleavor. But so I think it's Lamont, actually. Something along those lines. But anyway, so Cleavor got struck by this Arceus lightning and has become frenzied, and he can't do anything about it, even though he's responsible for Cleavor. So you figure out that, maybe we use its favorite food, it calms it down. Like, doesn't eating your favorite food calm you down? Doesn't having your favorite food thrown multiple times at your face calm you down? But you create these bombs, and you go into your first noble Pokemon fight, and just like Nick said, you kind of dodge their attacks, wait for the right moment to throw a Pokemon out, all still while pelting them with these bombs. So you cure Cleavor, everybody's happy, and now it's time to move on to the next area. And that's kind of the gameplay loop of the story, is you'll go to the next area, you'll help out someone else to get a new ride Pokemon, and then use that ride Pokemon to assist you in getting to the noble Pokemon, and then you'll have one of those battles. And so the 5 noble Pokemon are, again, Cleavor, the Hisuian form of Lilligant. She's a ballerina, which is super cool.
Arcanine.
Yeah, Arcanine. Hisuian Arcanine, who has one of the worst typings in Pokemon. Hisuian Electrode, which is pretty cool, because the Pokeballs are made out of wood and stuff now. They gave him
so weird.
Yeah, they gave him a wood finish on Electrode, and Voltorb, which is super cool, and then Avalugg. And so as you're going through, you're also meeting more members of the Diamond and Pearl clan who have been not necessarily at war, but at odds, because they each worship a different deity that they both call Sinnoh. So the Pearl clan thinks that Sinnoh is the god of space, and the Diamond clan thinks that Sinnoh is the god of time, and they're both basically like, our god is the real god. But they both have new young leaders, Adaman and Irida, which I love their names. Adaman, diamonds are unbreakable. JoJo said itself. And Irida, pearls are iridescent. It's just Game Freak's naming conventions sometimes are just right on.
It's almost Ace Attorney's naming convention.
It's true.
Almost. It's still win.
If you say so. But and so both these younger leaders want peace, basically, while still not relinquishing their values. They still believe that each one of them is right.
Until you get
So
to the end, they realize, oh, we're both right. No?
yeah, no, they both are right
Yeah.
and wrong all at the same time. But so you go and help out all the noble Pokemon in hopes that it gets you closer to Arceus, so that you can get the fuck out or figure out why you're here. And so the source of all this lightning is this like space-time anomaly above Mount Cornet. And so as you go through these areas, it's basically leading you closer to Mount Cornet. And so you defeat all the noble Pokemon, and then the leader of the Galaxy team, Commander Combo, is like, all right, we're taking the war straight to the space-time anomaly. And so as you're about to do that, you kind of get kicked out of the Galaxy team, because since you also came out of the space-time anomaly, you're not to be trusted. Which kind of sucks. That's a really hard time, not being able to buy things. Or
the dumb thing about that is literally nobody agreed with him.
Yeah.
And they still followed his orders. Like, you could just tell him no.
Yeah, Silene, who's portrayed as this hard ass, like, sticks up for you and is like, all of the camps will still give you stuff as you try to prove your innocence, that this has nothing to do with you. And so you crash the attack on Mount Cornet, beat Komodo in a Pokemon battle, and he's like wearing this like Pokemon armor, which is like super cool. And you capture. So you at this point you side with one of the clans, and that clan member basically represents the legendary Pokemon you'll get. So both of us picked Irida, and so both of us got to catch Palkia and use Palkia to help with Dialga. And if you choose Adaman, you would have got Dialga to help with Palkia. You get to catch both of them anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. And so just like in Diamond and Pearl, you forge the red chain to capture the one that you chose. It gets shattered by the other Pokemon, and so you use the pieces and a bunch of stuff to create this red chain ball to catch the other one. And then the space-time anomaly goes away, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, we were wrong about you. We're so sorry." And then that's where the game ends. You save the Hisuian region from the space-time anomaly, and have just resolved to leave your family and friends behind in your world to live here. Okay, happy ending.
As far as we know, who knows what happens when we actually get to Arceus? Because that requires completing the Pokédex.
Yeah, and I'm not even there yet. But you should probably just get a chance to capture Arceus, I'm sure. But
yeah.
Yeah, so that's the main gist of the story. I mean, it's still pretty simple in terms of story compared to like other games. Like, it's not anything like extensive like Horizon or Witcher or anything like that. But for a Pokemon game, it's pretty complex and nuanced. You have all of these different characters who have their own, beliefs and perspectives. I mean, we didn't really go through all of the clan members because we'd be here all day if we did. But like, there's a Pearl Clan member who's like, basically Irida was in a competition with her to be the clan leader, and it's Irida gets a lot of cool character moments of growth there when she realizes that it's okay to have different opinions with somebody. Like, just because you were enemies during this one time doesn't mean that they cannot be trusted to do their job and stuff. And this game has a lot more personality in its characters than any other Pokemon game does, which is great, because Pokemon has some cool characters that just never get enough time or enough screen time.
No.
I will say, though, that leads me to another complaint that I have with this game: the lack of voice acting.
Yeah, that's a complaint. I think this would have been a good time to introduce voice acting to the franchise.
Yeah, just like Breath of the Wild was the first Zelda to have voice acting, I think this should have been the first Pokemon game to have voice acting. Because in all of the cutscenes where you're talking to somebody, their lips move like they're talking.
Yeah.
So why just get a voice cast in there, man? And just
Yeah, I hope Scarlet and Violet go that direction and get some voices in there. I don't know if they will. I mean, Pokemon can afford it.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon, so I don't. I agree. It did feel a little odd, that they didn't have voices.
Yeah, especially like you said you beat Garatina already.
I'm at the Giratina fight. I lost the first time.
Okay, so you saw the cutscene where Volo calls him out.
Yeah, no, Vola should have had a voice. Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely should have had a voice.
Like that scene is so cool. Sorry for spoilers. Don't trust Volo, but like that scene would have been so cool with voice acting. And like I'm all for the protagonist being silent still. I don't care. You know, that's fine. But like all of the Galaxy team members, all of the wardens and the clan members, and Volo and Kagrita should have had voice acting.
Yeah. Also, I mean, is also in this game, as you mentioned earlier, whatever gender you pick, the opposite one will be the kind of your helper sometimes. The one that kind of trains you to get in the game. So boys Ray, girls Akari. Whoever you choose, they're actually kind of sassy to you.
Yeah.
And they're really sarcastic. It's kind of funny. I've never seen like this assistant be that way.
Yeah.
Which would have been heightened by the voice that you hear them be sarcastic.
Yeah.
So little touch ups here and there, but ultimately, I mean, I think enough steps were made out of this franchise and needed to make.
Yeah, and like I said, I like all of the story beats. I really feel like it fleshes out the Sinnoh region a lot better. So if you played Diamond and Pearl, like there's tons of references to it. Obviously, you basically uncover how Sinnoh got its name. Sinnoh was the Hisuian region, and now it's the Sinnoh region, thanks to the Diamond and Pearl clan. You kind of get context to why Cyrus is so obsessed with Palkia and Dialga, because his ancestor Silene was a Galaxy team member. There's just lots of cool things. I hope that Pokemon takes greater chances in terms of storytelling. I mean, you can't go too hard because these are still kids games. We're two adults that are reviewing a kids game. But I think Pokemon's ready for some more nuanced storylines. And they have tried that in the past. With Black and White, your rival character, his name was N. He straight up did not like catching Pokemon and believed that Pokemon should be free. So, like, they have attempted at nuanced storylines in the past. But again, Pokemon's always been a franchise of limitations, and now it does not have those limitations. So you can go all out. And really tell a good compelling storyline that still has the normal themes of Pokemon for the kids, but adults will be like, you know what, this isn't bad writing. Well, I think those are the major parts of the game.
I think we covered the bases.
Any final thoughts? Anything that we missed that you'd like to talk about in the game?
No, I mean, I feel like we covered everything. I mean, I kind of said what I thought of the game at the beginning of the review, so
yes.
We can move on to our scores. I'll let you go first since you were the one with more complaints than.
Yes, and again, the complaints, just like in Metroid Dread, the complaints stem from wanting more. And I think though these complaints will be a lot smaller when the eventual Violet and Scarlet games come out. But for now, I have to review the game that's in front of me, and I do think there are some I wouldn't say glaring flaws, but some concerning ones. Why wasn't there a way to battle friends? Why did we go so light on the battling while making progressive changes to the battling system? I don't really like how there's 3 types of Pokeballs. I wish there was some more. Since catching the Pokemon is such a fun thing to do, I wish there were more options. Because you only get the heavy balls, the Pokeballs, and the feather balls, which are just super fast Pokeballs that are more adept at catching fast and flying Pokemon. And then you have 3 like upgrades I wish there was some more. I think catching Pokemon on Basculegion in the sea is super freaking clunky. So there were some problems with this game that I think more than likely will be addressed when Scarlet and Violet come out. But it does kind of hold back the experience for me. I just got done catching Thundurus in the coastlands, and that's a I don't get to fight Thundurus. You have to catch him outside of a Pokemon battle. He zips around, causes tornadoes, and you're on Basculegion the whole time, and it was awful.
Ooh.
I have never lost so much crap in my life. I died like 6 times.
Oh damn.
And I still haven't got all of my satchels back. So, like, there are some problems with the game. Overall, though, the sheer amount of fun that is had going out on excursions and just catching Pokemon makes those complaints from possibly big complaints into small complaints. Because the reason why I have 60 plus hours in this game does not take that long if you wanted just to go through. Most of my time was spent just out catching Pokemon, talking with and Alex and Vincent and Luis and Daniel at work and stuff about it. I was research rank 8 when I went into the final battles, and like all of you were like 5 and 6. So I spent way more time out there than you guys did, just catching Pokemon because it's just fun to do. And I think that's what's going to keep me playing this game up until Scarlet and Violet releases. It's just fun to go out and catch Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's fast, it's snappy, it's fun. The game overall is so much fun, and it makes me very excited to see what is next for Pokemon as we continue being on home consoles. That being said, I still can't overlook those issues that I have. So my final score is going to be an 8.5, 8.5.
Okay,
8.5 out of 10. I still think it's a great game. I just think that a lot of those small issues could have been fixed by various changes. But it's still so much fun. It's if you haven't picked it up, please go do so. It'll scratch your Pokemon itch in the way that I feel that Diamond and Pearl's remakes did not. So yeah, definitely go pick it up. Although it's super hard to find, I can't keep it in stock at work. So super hard to find. Pick it up when you see it because it's a lot of fun. And let's all wait patiently for more Scarlet and Violet news.
Yeah, not Diamond Pearl. I did not. I didn't beat Diamond Pearl, but I can't go back to it now. As I said in the start, this is to me it's the best Pokemon game ever made. Now I agree there are some issues. But to me, the biggest issue Pokemon had going into this was the worlds felt dead. There was nothing happening in those worlds. Sword and Shield felt dead. Diamond and Pearl felt dead. This is the first time it feels like I'm actually in a world of Pokemon. And just fixing that alone is works in spades for this game. I mean, yeah, you spent more time catching the Pokemon than I did. But I mean, it just made catching the Pokemon just so much more fun. I can spend hours. I mean, it's kind of a reversal roles. But you, a lot of times you go into grass in old Pokemon games, and there's a Pokemon waiting to fight you in there. Now you're the one hiding in the grass trying to get the Pokemon. So it's kind of funny. But they do that. They sped up the battling. One thing I didn't even touch on is the UI. The UI is right from Breath of the Wild. It is straight up Breath of the Wild's UI.
Yep.
But they speed it up because in old Pokemon games, I fought a battle. I gave you 5 menu screens. You click through, and then I'm going to show you your XP gains. You got to click through, and then we'll go back to the game world. This is the fight starts immediately in the world you're in. No deal thing. And when you see the fight's end, you walk away, and there's a little side that shows you what your XP gains were, and you can just keep playing.
Yep.
It doesn't waste your time, and I legitimately, I mean, I'll see what's going on. I do have some questions Scarlet and Violet. I'm glad it's open world, but I gotta keep some of these strides that Legends have made. It's gotta keep some of them. It can't go back, because I can't go back to Diamond and Pearl or Sword and Shield. It's just those games. Yeah, there's some mistakes those games so it needs, like the battling other people and stuff like that. But as a whole, I can't go back. This is to me what Pokemon should be like. Just maybe again a few touch ups here and there. But this is to me, the ideal Pokemon game. I'm gonna give it a little higher than you did. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
All right. So split the difference, 8.75 out of 10. But yeah, I figured you were going to give it around there since you're proclaiming it's your favorite Pokemon game. So all around a solid game. Please pick it up and buy it. I mean, it was the first major game of the year, so and already a solid game of the year contender, in my opinion at least, with lots of those releasing last month in February too that we're both still working through.
Too many open world games right now.
But that is going to conclude our review for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Nick, where can the lovely people find you?
So you can find me on Twitch at its_classified__. If you're watching this on YouTube on my channel, you already found it then. If you're watching this his channel, it's classified games. And you can also find me on Twitter at its__classified.
Yep, and you can find me on my Twitch channel Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays at dandylion_777. My Twitter is dandy_lion777. So you can see all of my hot retweets of Nick's tweets, as well as some of my own, and like when I'm announcing when I'm going live and stuff on Twitch. And if you're watching this on Nick's channel, my YouTube is also just dandylion777. If you're watching this on my channel, hey, great, you found it. Go check out some of our other reviews. But that is going to conclude this one. So we will see you next time, probably with a Horizon Forbidden West review or something along those lines.
Something.
There's too much going on. So we will see you in the next video, and thank you so much for watching this one. See ya.
Adios.